himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so new off in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. Doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here, but I just want to see how Alistair Haight deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped all the way down the order, but Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start dropping. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's allowed to have fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. The Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
down to
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it. Medeiros is going to
toss it. Haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start chopper. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I am James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth once again by Ria Subra, who will be coming in with me here at this amazing circuit, 1.5 miles in length. The banking, well, they're going to have to deal with 20-degree banking on the turns, 9 to 12 progressive banking on the front and back stretch here. It's going to be an interesting one, but it is round 6 of the Spin City 160 Las Vegas, and tonight's event is sponsored by Matt Perusini, sponsoring the event. If you want to get involved, guys, you can. 4 nights of racing, Sundays Gen 4, Tuesdays late model, Wednesdays road racing, and Thursdays NextGen. Head over to triplebypassracing.com, get yourself signed up. As you can see, it's 12 races season, trophies as well. Session opens at 8:30 ET, qualifying at 9 p.m. Guaranteed heart-breaking racing. And today as well, we have got 30 cars on track at this amazing circuit. It is going to be absolutely epic. You're going to love this. We have 105 laps. They have 3 tires, 1 fast repair, and the fuel, we reckon, is going to be between 50 to 55 laps. We are coming to the end of practice, as you see up in the top left hand corner. Let's bring Ria Subra into the booth and have a chat with her. Ria, how are you?
I'm good, James. A bit of a long day, but you know, this is a good way to end it. How are you doing tonight?
I'm okay. I'm good. I don't know. I've had a long day, but I don't know, to be honest. It's been productive. It's just been very, very long. Let's bring you up the current scores on the doors. After round 5, John Campbell is out in front here on 151. Wakar Gretsch on 150. Ben Harcum on 141. And then you got Zach Roethlisberger on 139 with Jason Benson on 139. Chris Hannigan in 6th on 129. Matthew Harmon on 128 and Sean Bradley on 127. Al Corey's into the top 10 on 114 with Derek Catt on 113. It's definitely going to be an interesting one here, Ria. We've got 30 cars on the circuit. That could be tricky. The numbers look good and the league's doing really well and everybody's back from their summer holiday break and they're going to be hurtling around Vegas. But it could come with its own issues, couldn't it, with the fact that there are so many cars on the circuit?
I mean, it is a lot of cars, but from what we've seen from Triple Bypass, they've been pretty clean throughout their whole season. I don't really think they're going to have too much of a problem. It is quite a fast track, but they've been pretty clean. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, they have been pretty clean here as well. And at Charlotte Motor Speedway, it was Chad Bear who took the victory over Zach Roethlisberger with Matt Perusini in 3rd place. So last time out at Charlotte, that was your runners and riders, your winners and losers. We are into qualifying. We have about 5 minutes for them guys to set their laps and see where they turn out. Now, it's going to be an interesting thing here as well with the qualifying. I always wonder sometimes, right, and I do sometimes question why they have qualifying in NASCAR. Now, I do get it, obviously, you want to be starting up as high as the grid, but literally anything can happen, and then could be from the back to the front. It just seems an exercise that, yes, probably is needed, but doesn't seem to be worth worrying about with pole because, as I say, it is NASCAR and you can end up from the back to the front.
Yeah, I mean, you can, though there are tracks like Las Vegas where track position does matter quite a bit more. So your argument makes sense for the super speedways like Talladega, Daytona, stuff like that. But in Vegas, we've seen it before. There's going to be quite a bit of defense played here.
Yeah, well, let's hope we don't see the whole traditional saying of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, because let's see if these guys will leave it out on track and get it all done and dusted. You can see the lap times of about 30 seconds, give or take, on the 105 laps. Should, give or take us half that time to get round the circuit. Now, I know Werrell said over and under yellows. I say 3. Me personally, I'm erring on the side of 0, but I think there could possibly be 1 stroke, maybe 2 cautions. They don't ever have many here in the Triple Bypass League, Ria. So what are you predicting for yellows? How many are you going for yourself?
Well, he did say over under, so I'd say under 3, but if we got to be more precise, I can't really see there being more than 3. I'm going to say 3 as my max.
Okay. I'll let you off that you've sided with YouTube chat. You know what I mean? It's okay. Don't worry. But let's see what is going on here as well. Hazlitt's just jumped into the 29s. Only him and Ben Harcum on 29.97, 29.99 are in that 29 category of drivers. Everybody else, give or take, right the way down to Ward Fisher, who's in the 31s. Everybody else is in the 30s. So there's going to be a lot of people in that 32nd category here as well. Matt Perusini from hometown Stony Plain here is going to be looking to see if he can bump himself up any higher than 10th place where he sits at the moment. Last time round for Matt Perusini, where did he end up? Well, unfortunately, he stays in 10th. There is no real gain for Perusini. Still going again once more. Let's see what he can do and here as well. To be fair, though, they have done the 2 laps, so I'll be very surprised if he gets any more in after that. But we'll wait for him to come across the line, see what he does here as well. What are we expecting from Vegas? You know, I've seen these guys go 2 wide. I've seen these guys go 3 wide. Do we think we're going to get that 2 wide, 3 wide, or do we think that generally 1 line should be enough for them, but we never quite know?
I don't think you're going to see 3 consistent lines, but we will definitely be seeing a couple of corners with cars 3 wide. I don't think we're going to see consistent lines, but hopefully we see some people working together to kind of make sure there isn't a gap formed between anybody. There's obviously going to be packs that form, but you don't really want the front runners to just run away with it. And hopefully we'll be seeing a couple of drivers hooking up together and making sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things we spoke about last time of this hooking up together. It's not, you know, hooking up, he's going to go and take him out on a dinner date, guys. It's when 2 cars come close together and they stay close together, which then reduces their drag, which then produces them to go faster, and then hopefully they should go quicker. Now, let's bring you up the grid here as well. Justin Hazlitt is out in front on that 29.97. And then we've got Ben Harcum not too far behind him, with Carl Gretsch in 3rd, Jared Jackson 4th, Dustin Barton 5th, Sean Bradley makes up row 3 with Chris Hannigan and John Crutchley on row 4, Justin Bentley, Zach Roethlisberger on row 5, Matt Perusini and Nick Howder on row 6. We go down to row 7, Will Jester, John Creedler there as well, Thomas Hazlitt and Clay Cantrell row 8, Jason Benson, Matt Harmon row 9, Al Corey and Jeff Slaughter in row 10. Brian Cooper and Morris Bogan in 11th. Grant Parker and Mark Herzog in 12th. Then you got John Campbell, Ward Fisher on row 13. Chris Melton, Brandon Hinton on row 14. Then you've got Alex Goff and Ryan Murray bringing out row 15. 30 cars battling it out for the what is Vegas stays in Vegas for the Spin City 160 here this evening. Get your drinks, get your popcorn, sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. There you can see at the top we have a Ford. Then we've got the Toyota Camry of Ben Harcombe, and then the Chevy of Carl Gretz right behind him. And then it's Toyota, Chevy, Ford. Toyota, Chevy, Ford. And then we've round out with a Chevy on the top 10. It's going to be exciting. We're just waiting for Ryan Murray to see if he gets himself out on the circuit, but he hasn't at the moment. I'm wondering if he's not going to take part, and we're going to end up with 29 cars. We're just on this pace lap rear. Entrance and exit out of pit lane generally is very important. You know, we talk about it and we say these guys don't want to be going in massive packs. You want to go in 3s and 4s because it makes it easier, right? At the end of the day, the lower the car count, the faster you should get in without causing anyone problems.
Yeah, generally that's more of an iRacing thing. In professional NASCAR, I've mentioned it before, it does, you know, it's not a big deal if they all go in at one time because it's all they do day in and day out is practice, stuff like that. So it's not the worst thing in the world. However, in iRacing, it's very easy to become disorientated with all the cars that are in front of you. You phase through cars, you may miss your pit stop. So generally, if you can, it's a lot easier and nicer to go in with a pack of 3 or 4. So you're not, you know, you don't come out alone. You're not gonna be losing out on people that have draft, but you also don't get in when it's too thick.
Yeah, you don't want to go in massive packs. It can cause you a problem. As you say, you start going through cars and missing your pit box, and then you're having to reverse, and then you're having to lose time. And the important thing, of course, is you don't want to lose time. You can see the pit entry there on the right-hand side. You can see the cars coming. 29 big gruffin beasts are gonna be off, and we are green with Justin Hazlitt, Ben Harcombe, Carl Gretsch, and Dustin Barton. Your front 4. Barton's up 1 place there as well. Chris Hannigan's trying to make a move on the inside of that 77 car of Sean Bradley. Let's see what Hannigan can do, and Perusini and Rufflesberger with Jester. Crutchley's had a bit of a bad start, down 3 places at the beginning. I don't think he needs to panic just yet. We are only coming to the end of the first lap.
Yeah, we have a couple of other drivers who've gained up to 3 positions, and some other drivers who've lost a couple of positions, but it is very early in the race, and as you said before, caution can change the entire race. So it's we have over 105 laps to go, or sorry, over 103 laps to go. It's, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world if you lose a couple of positions at the start. As long as you remain patient and stick to the people in front of you, you should be all right.
Well, I'm a bit confused about Justin Bentley, because Justin Bentley is down 17 places off that green flag start. So I'm a little bit worried. I do want to pick up and find what exactly happened to Justin here as well on his green flag, because he's, well, it says he's down 17, but he's sitting at the back of the pack at the moment. So I'm a little bit confused.
I think that was a timing issue.
Yeah, I think it could well be, because it doesn't look like a lot has happened here as well, apart from the fact that the front pack are opening up. Hazlitt, Harcombe, Gretsch, Barton, Hannigan with Bradley, Roethlisberger and Jared Jackson rounding out your top 8 here once more. The Spin City 160 is up and running, sponsored by, of course, Matt Perusini here this evening. From Ben Harcombe trying to run that bottom line at the moment. Is he going to try and get underneath Justin Hazlitt here? Hazlitt on the left-hand side with almost a 6K I rating in ovals with Zach Roethlisberger and Jared Jackson, the other few 6K drivers here this evening as well. The top the 13 car of Barton running out his south line. What do we think on tyre saving rear as well? Do we think it's going to be big here at Vegas, do you think?
I mean, this is one of those tracks where your tires can go pretty quickly. So yeah, I think we're going to see a couple of people running that high line trying to save the tires and not wear them out too much. Although we are also running at night, so the track's a little cooler, but it doesn't tend to change your plans too much.
Yeah, 21 degrees. We are on asphalt, of course, as well, which obviously when you sit at home, you sit there and go asphalt, concrete, tarmac, pavement. What's the difference? Well, to be honest, I'm no builder and I don't lay brick either. So, I'm sure there is a difference. I think asphalt is a little bit coarser. If I've learned anything of Kenton Sports at this season, it's probably that. But as I say, we are running at night with a 21 degree track temperature, 29 cars out on track. John Campbell in that Dunkin' Donuts 117 sitting at the back of the pack at the moment, starting to lose time to Branton Hinton in front of him. He doesn't want to be getting off the draft here, Rio, do we? We want to kind of stay in the draft and make sure that we are with people around us. As I say, the draft is strong here and they're going to need it.
Yeah, especially Vegas track position is a big thing here, so you're not going to want to fall too far off like Campbell has. He's down 4 positions, unfortunately, but again, patience is a big thing, so just try to stick with the person in front of you. You never know what could happen. So.
Yeah, they're running one lane at the moment with everyone. The only two that are together are Ben Harcombe and Justin Hazlitt here up the front end. Kyle Gretsch trying to get himself involved as well. Is he going to want to go and tuck it 3 wide? Surely you don't want to be doing this going into the entrance of 1 here. All the cars closely knitted at the moment. There's no bump, ribbon and riding going on behind them as we go down to John Creedler. He's sitting in that 99 Spotify car in 11th place. John Crutchley, Nick Howder, Jason Benson and Clay Cantrell. Matt Harmon on the inside with Morris Bogan there in that 36 liveried Ford behind them. These guys are quite close together at the moment as well. Over the line one more time. They're ticking off laps about now, Rio. They just want to settle in, find a line, stick to their plans and make sure nothing goes wrong this early on.
Yeah, it's bit of a long haul, especially if it goes green the whole way. You would think that with cautions the race would seem longer, but actually sitting in the car green the whole way, the stint is a longer stint. Ooh, bit of contact with the wall on the outside. Looks like they actually lost the car there. But yeah, the stint just feels longer when the stint is longer. Sorry, the race feels longer.
Yeah, now I've heard that a couple of times about the fact that obviously when there isn't cautions and you don't get that moment to have a break, the race does feel longer and you're running, I'm not going to put it past these guys for running 105 laps. I really am not. I think this is one of the cleanest NASCAR leagues, if not the cleanest I've ever had the pleasure of commentating on. And I wouldn't expect any major dramas to kick off here. Maybe towards the end when they're starting that chess movement, almost when you're kind of coming to the end of the race and you're tired and you're aching and you've got cramp and you're just very uncomfortable, as we can see there. That's Al Corey with Jeff Slaughter on that outside. He's got an absolute gorgeous livery, and so is Nick Howder in front. I'm not going to lie here, if they were painted by anybody, they've done an absolute stellar job. Now we've got lines starting to approach. We start going too wide. We start getting this as well. This is always tough when you're going for 105 laps. It's that very mental fatigue situation, isn't it, that can cause you a bit of a problem and cause you to do, well, something crazy, something silly, something that you wouldn't normally do if you were on top of your game and it was early morning and you were only going for 30 laps.
Yeah, especially if you start making small mistakes, it starts playing with your mind, and you start making even more small mistakes, and it just snowballs until you're running against the wall, and it gets to you. Even tiny mistakes just seem amplified when you go longer and longer. You do have Thomas Hazlitt in the game right now. I wonder if he picked up some damage and was just sitting there waiting for it to repair, and instead of using fast repair.
Yeah, he's just... Yeah, he entered the pit lane and basically never came back out. So that's the situation. You see, there's also... yellow flag out. Jeff Slaughter and Mark Herzog look like they've had their own little moment. Herzog on the inside. He's going to take the front end off. He is. Is Nick Howder going to get through? No, unfortunately. The caution one here on lap 15. And I've got to be honest, if I was Slaughter, I would be sitting back and saying, Mark, that, unfortunately, is all on you. He came up across the track, didn't really make sure it was clear. He probably didn't get a call from his engineer, and as you can see, didn't even keep the line there, Rio. He kind of come up into that middle lane, and that is what caused that mass drama after. Did Nick Howder manage to actually hold that in that 15 car? Well,
he may have touched the inside wall. It looks like he held it pretty well.
Yeah, we did there. Great job. So we have got the first caution on lap 16. I'm hoping we're not in that philosophy that we always hear in NASCAR. Cautions bleed cautions. So let's hope that we don't get that situation here this evening. And these guys can do and will do what they do best, which is nice green flag running. And see what happened. Barton's in the pits, Creedler's in the pits, Gretsch there over Hazlitt, over Bradley, over Roethlisberger, Hannigan, Perusini, Harcum, Jester, Jackson and John Crutchley round out your top 10. These kind of, it's almost bordering on, to be honest, probably more of a D-shape oval or tri-oval, depending on what they want to call them. Obviously, you've got the option here at Vegas. There's the tri-oval, the bullring oval, the long road course, the medium road course, the short road course. Going through the middle, there's the drag race strip as well, which get used by the NHRA. Vegas has got a lot to it, bar just this bog standard tri-oval, and they're always difficult for me because I always sit back and think, okay, are we lifting going into the corners or are we full flat all the way round? What would you suggest some of these are doing? Are they lifting? Are they braking lifting? What's the situation?
All right, I gotta be honest here, full disclosure, I haven't been in the car through this track. I missed my league race for this track due to not having my rig, so I can't with full confidence say that I would full throttle. I don't think this is a track where you would brake. Generally, tri-ovals, you don't need to brake heavily into corners like you would do for some of the smaller tracks. But I don't, with as much confidence as I can put behind what I'm saying, I don't think you would lift too much. It's a pretty wide or a pretty long corner, so I imagine most people are going to run that low line and try and keep as much speed as they possibly can, which is obviously the point of racing, but more so push that car as hard as they can without scrubbing the tires.
Yeah, I think that's one of the difficult things that people haven't managed to work out, the scrub of the tyres. So let's see what happens. Believe it or not, in 1972, this circuit opened 51 years ago, probably a little bit longer than that actually, and started off as a drag strip and a road course. And in 1985, they added the free 8-mile oval, and then in 1996, they added the 1.5-mile oval to Vegas. So the initial opening of Vegas was for the fact that it was going to be a drag strip, and then everything else just went in around it. Some of the series that you can watch here at Vegas are the NASCAR Cup Series, the Xfinity Series as well, and the Craftsman's Truck Series. They did at one point run the GT World Challenge and the IndyCar Series with the Champ Car World Series here as well. So it's done a lot. I know the NHRA are at Vegas this year as well for the Nevada Nationals. They're there on the 26th to the 29th of October. So if you want to get yourselves involved and go and have a look down there, you can head to Vegas on them dates. So you've got about 6 days to basically plan a trip to Vegas to go and see the NHRA Nationals. That is a drag racing event. If you haven't ever seen that before, go and watch it. I've been fortunate enough to commentate on drag racing. It is a different form of commentary. I'm not gonna lie, when you're discussing drag racing, there's a lot involved, and hats off to anyone that takes part in those cars that can go 0 to 200 in 3 seconds. It is literally insane. So if you want some NHRA, head to Vegas on the 26th to the 29th in 6 night days time. But we are going to be up and running once more as we're coming round the final corner. We've still got Thomas Hazlitt in the pits. He's been in there for 6.5 minutes. I don't think he's going to be returning, but we will keep an eye on that situation. Welcome in, everybody, if you are here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bells once more as we're just about to get back up and running. The pace car's going to do the funky 90-degree left turn. There he goes. Barney's waving. He's got his right hand ready and raging to go. And here for the Spin City 160, we are up and running. There is somebody off the side of the circuit already there. Unfortunately, looks like they got a little bit out of shape. And I'm going to try and we'll have a look back through and see who we can find out that was. We've had that first caution now, Rio. We've had that first break. What are we expecting from the middle of this now? Because are they obviously people that have gone in? You've got the likes of Alex Goff, you've Ward Fisher, not Ward Fisher, sorry, John Creedler's gone in, Dustin Barton, Brandon Hinton, Jeff Slaughter, Nick Howder, who got caught up in the incident, of course, and JC obviously went in as well. You know, are they going to be people out of sync in conjunction? Are they going to have to run one less stop, do we think? And is fuel saving going to be a massive part?
There's definitely going to be people on different strategies at this point. We've seen a decent handful of people pit in right now, and some people are running their old tires. I think we're going to see... Ooh, we already have...
That's Chris Hannigan.
It's like he just got pushed sideways from behind.
Yeah, Chris Hannigan there. Unfortunately, on lap 21, has unfortunately gone off to the side of the circuit. No, he did not get pushed.
All on his own.
All on his own for Mr. Hannigan. Gonna be a tough one. Now we're gonna have a chat to one of the drivers here this evening as well. I'm gonna bring in my man, Mr. John Crutchley. Let's have a quick chat with John up here, who's in that 48 Chevy running around Vegas. John, can you hear me okay? John?
Yes, sir.
Hello. How are you, dear sir?
I am doing well. How are you today, James?
I am doing wonderful. I get to watch you guys hurtle round Vegas. Now tell us, how difficult out there is it on track at the moment? We've had a couple of incidents already, Slaughter and Herzog. Hannigan just did that one all on his own. We're 2 cautions deep on 23. What do we think for you, John? What are the chances you're going to get the victory here today?
Right now, I got a top 10 car. Right now, the car is just loose, going in a little bit, and I'm just trying to just level it off and just try to get the track. You know, just try to figure out what the track's doing with the car. But right now, I think I got a top 10 car right now. I'm doing pretty well, so I really appreciate you guys, what you're doing up there.
Do you think you're going to run, do you think it's more of a longer setup on a car, or do you think you're literally could just be a short run car here? And I think that's one of the things, John, as well, just really quickly before I let you go, of course, you know, what are we expecting from this? Are we expecting these long runs, these 30, 40, 50 lap runs, do we think? Or do we think we're going to be in spits and starts with cautions in the middle?
You know, honestly, I think as we're going right now, we already had 2 cautions, and my car is better in the long run right now. I cannot get up there during these restarts, and I think everybody's seen that already. But I really think I need a long run, and we're just going to have some cautions. We have a big pack tonight.
Big pack, yeah, man. I think that's one of the proud things for you guys to go, you know, boast the fact that you have 30 cars. You did have 30 cars on the circuit right at the beginning. As you said, everybody's going back from holiday now as well. They're all back at racing, John. It's going to be a difficult one. So what do we think? A one-line run all the way through, do we think? Or you're going to be starting and venturing out onto that upper line if you're going to be looking later on?
Right now, my car is doing pretty well going from high to low. We'll just have to see what the tires do for me. But during practice, I did try to go on the outside wall just to play around. So we'll just see. We'll just see.
All right, John. Have a good one, buddy. And let's go and see you down in Victory Lane a little bit later.
Hey, thank you so much, and I'm going to give a holler to my wife right now. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, James, and your crew for the broadcast.
No worries. Take care, mate. Have a good one, bud.
You too, bud. Thanks.
Well, there we go. Crutchley set up for a longer run. Can't get this car running at the moment. Rare on these short burst runs he's having. Let's get this race back up and running here, and then we'll have a chat about John Crutchley and his car set up here once more. Carl Gretsch is leading the field with Justin Hazlitt, Zach Roethlisberger, Sean Bradley, Perusini, Harcum and Jester. That is your top 7. You've got Bogan, Jackson, Cantrell rounding out your top 10. It is all going to be down to this one. It is going to be the green. It is going to be Barney. He's going to be waving. The official is off. We are once more up and running. Are we going to go a little bit longer than the 6 laps from Carl Gretsch, running away with it with Zach Roethlisberger, Justin Hazlitt, Sean Bradley, Perusini and Harcum now getting on to chase. That's not unheard of, what Crutchley said. It's not unheard of, the fact that cars are set up for longer runs here, because to be honest, I would probably set my car up for a longer run if I was in this league as well, Rhea, because apart from tonight where I've seen 2 quick cautions, they're never really caution-filled races, but where is that going to be in benefits of him running where he is now? He needs runs out of these guys. He needs them to not have these caution breaks. Otherwise, we're never going to see John Crutchley start moving through the field.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that, too, is it's so easy to forget how your car handles on cold tires, and they do cool down quite a bit under caution. So it's such a shock when the car isn't reacting how you feel it should be, and it's just hard to get it under control until the tires come back into play when they're in that operating temperature that is best for them. So it's just more of a, how do I handle the car as it is right now to get it back to where I want it to be. So I think a lot of drivers are just going to be dealing with that. I think that's probably the reason we had that caution, to be honest.
Yeah, I think with Chris Hannigan, I think there was just too many, the saying as we use here, too many beans on the right foot, to be honest, because he did just seem to go all on his own and went a little bit loose and nobody really made contact. That's the 93 of Roethlisberger and Bradley nearly make contact there. Hazlitt's gone back a little bit, dropped down into that 4th place. Perusini not far behind in that 24 car as well. Don't forget tonight's sponsor is Matt Perusini. This league does generally get sponsored by the drivers. And Carl Gretsch in a moment doing a great job out in front. Now Crutchley's in that 12th position. He's got the Chris Hannigan behind, who was the main culprit. That's the word I was looking for that last caution here as well on lap 21. Just spun it out, coming out the exit here once more. Where are we in terms of thinking about our track position right about now? We're 30 in, we've got 70 to go. What do we think in general where we're going to be looking to put the car and what place we're really looking to try and hold on to?
I think all the top contenders are really going to want to be within that top 10 or so right now. John Crutchley, as we've seen, he's been sliding around a little. I don't know if you noticed the last lap, his rear end just kind of got out a little. Oh! Ooh, as he gets pushed right there by Barton.
Yeah, he's just put Barton into the wall, unfortunately, there for John Crutchley. Believe there was a slight little bit of contact on that outside wall, and Barton is now running that wall line for Dustin Barton. He is all the way down. He's had to go into the pits. That probably would have done damage. Roethlisberger almost taking it 3 wide at the front with Bradley in that 77 Ford here as well. Roethlisberger's going to try and bump draft him off, or he's just going to go 3 wide. Here we go, 3 wide on the entry into turn 3 at the moment. It is Roethlisberger. He does get that run over to underneath there, the 77 of Bradley, and once more Roethlisberger doing an absolutely stellar job. That was a chance area, but it's a chance he took, and boy oh boy did he grab it with both hands at that point.
Yeah, it was a bit of a risky one, but sometimes you gotta make those moves, and it really worked out well for him right now. He's actually
Bradley getting
a little loose, a little bump from behind.
Yeah, Perusini seems a little bit far back on the bumping side of things, though. I think that may have been a little bit loose. A bit worried for Justin Hazlitt on that outside line. He's dropped to that outside line as the 27 car as well, and is now unfortunately losing pace to the guys in front. I'm wondering if he's on that tyre saving strategy at the moment once more, but he's got Ben Harcum as well. It's not ideal that first and second currently are sitting 6th and 7th. But are we tyre saving this early? Are we fuel saving this early? What do we think the situation is going on with these two front runners at the end of the day, at the end of qualifying?
I think they've been tire saving. From what I've seen, they've been running that top line, so I think they're just trying to make the tires last as long as they can. We're already 35 laps in, just about, so I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see some green flag pits here soon, but people might just be holding out for another caution. But he's going low now, so I wonder if maybe he's trying to make up a couple of positions to avoid dropping too far back.
Oh, I'll tell you what, they're going to be dropping 3 wide back, unfortunately, there as well. Bogan's in the middle, then Justin Hazlitt is in there with Sean Bradley on that outside in that Anime Simpsons livery. Does look very nice, I'm not going to lie. And Chris Hannigan's trying to make his way back through as well over the 74 of Will Chester in the Mountain Dew Chevrolet there. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys are managing this mid-pack. Nobody is really pulling away, and I think that's what's the interesting thing. Now, obviously, we've got 26th and 27th, John Campbell, Dustin Barton at the back of the field. We saw what happened to Barton. Didn't see what happened to JC. I think it's the fact that he went into the pits on 16s, dropped him back here. Nobody is massive. There's not one big gap at the moment that you might have seen with other races and people dropping back far enough. We've got 25 cars all within really close distance of each other here, in conjunction with probably other series that you may be looking at and obviously, you know, have watched before.
Yeah, I mean, we can start to see a little bit of a gap forming between Creedler and Goff, but other than that, it's a very tight packet in general, and it does lead to some exciting racing, as we've already seen from a couple of little bumps and people getting loose here and there, people going 3 wide. It lends itself very well to exciting racing.
I think Vegas in general, do you know, the thing is, when you think of Vegas, you're just sitting there thinking, you know, hotels, casinos, gamble your money away and then have to try and go home to the wife and explain why you've got no money left as well. You know, Caesars and whatever else you've been up to while you're out there, and all-you-can-eat buffet and come out as fat as a house. But you wouldn't put Vegas and racing sometimes into the same category, because in conjunction with other racetracks and other dates of circuits, this racetrack, being that it was not open till 72, is still quite baby, still quite an infant circuit in conjunction with others that have been open for a lot longer.
Yeah, that is true. However, you have to remember, they are opening not opening, it is a road course, but F1 is coming to Vegas, and they're doing the road track that goes straight through the strip and passes by the new Sphere, I believe it's called, giant LCD arena. So I think they're trying to put themselves on the map a little more.
Well,
for racing, I mean.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they're on the map for other sort of things. You know, gambling and all the other things you want to go. Indulgences, there we go. That's the word. Thank you for bailing me out there, because I really wasn't quite sure where I was going to go with that one. But that's the thing, and I always find it very strange with certain road circuits, you know, certain things that, as Bradley there tucks around the outside of that 52, he's going to have to be careful. That was Chris Melton, who Bradley nearly made contact with. Gretsch has just run the wall. You've seen the sparks fly off. Hold it. Go on, son. as he did hold it there in that 27 sexy wall trip car. Carl Gretsch doing a great job. Now he's put himself in the mid-pack here as well. Don't forget, he was your front runner at one point. Now he's sitting in that mid-pack. Just held it after his little wall tap there as well. Lost a lot of speed, but they're still going under green. 42 laps down, and we're still running green. Going back to my wonderful road circuit conversation, basically, money talks, right? And I think that's probably one of the biggest influences why F1 is going here. And for me, I'm not a lover of that. I'm not a lover of that. I think my traditional hardcore racing comes from race circuits. It's almost like when these guys go to Chicago. No. You know, just don't put NASCARs at Chicago. It's just two squares joined by a couple of lines. It doesn't work for me. And it leaves that little sour taste like I've been sucking on a lemon all day. That just, no. It just general. But definitely in the world of motorsport, though, Rhea, money talks. And that could be why we've got a Vegas F1.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. You do say, you don't really think of road circuits for, racing. But Monaco, Azerbaijan, there's some of the most popular races almost ever. Monaco is in so many different forms of media as a racing central, and it's a road course, so I think it's more of just an excitement thing. Can it be an exciting race? And I think that's what'll get people to talk about it. But you're right, it is definitely going there because somebody got paid to go there.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing with Monaco, right, stooped in history. It's stooped in the fact that people used to fly off the road circuit and into the water, right? And that's the thing. There was racing at Monaco back then. Now, if I've got, if I'm feeling tired, I'll stick on the Monaco F1 because I can guarantee I'm going to be asleep, right? I'm not going to lie. I will be asleep. Give me my Sunday dinner. Give me the Monaco Grand Prix. Give me the first 5 laps after some people might have tapped a wall. Good night, Vienna. Wake me up 5 laps from the end and I'll watch the end because I can guarantee the person that was on pole is still going to be in the lead by the time he gets to the end. They're boring road circuits. Azerbaijan, another one. They're boring. They lend nothing apart from financial gain for the people in and around where they're at. And NASCAR did the same thing with Chicago. It is not a good road circuit. Everyone I've spoken to, even Ryan O'Connor, who I know lives in Chicago, he didn't even go. He had VIP tickets. Didn't even go. He said, I didn't go. I said, why not? He said, because I didn't want to. It's boring. I said, okay. And he didn't even go. And that's the thing when you're chucking something that's running nearly 500 plus horsepower, 600 plus horsepower. It's always gonna be tough for people, and always you don't want to go there. Well, somebody has already gone there, and we've got a yellow flag, and that was Jared Jackson on lap 48. Crotchley got a little bit out of shape. Oh, look at the gap. Look at the gap.
You could tell immediately that was net code.
Yeah, absolutely. A ginormous gap there between Jared Jackson and the 84 of Ward Fisher. And I know that we're not supposed to talk about it, and I know that people don't like it, but it's in the game. It's in the game. We've seen it in the game, and unfortunately it has caused that incident. If you don't get what we mean, guys, as well, I will slow this down even further. Now, as you can see there, before the 84 starts spinning, Jared Jackson's on that left-hand side. And what we mean by that is the fact that what's happened is the game has already perceived that they're going to make contact. Now, this will be your perfect angle. And now you'll see there as well, we're going in, no contact whatsoever. And that is what it brings to it. So a bit of a shame there for Jared Jackson, but unfortunately, everybody is now, and this is where we thought that 50-55 mark, we're now bundling into the pits. We're on lap 50 here, Rhea. Everybody's doing the same. I'm going to have a chat here with Carl 1, Mr. Carl Gretsch. I'll just pull him in there as well. I'll wait for him to finish his stop because he probably ain't going to be too happy with me if I talk to him right now. Get the car stopped. Good job. Right, let's have a chat with Carl in the car here as well, in that 27 Chevy. Carl, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly. How are you doing?
I'm not bad, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just cracked open my drink, and I noticed it was foaming a little too much, and it might have exploded over my pants, but it did not.
Okay. Completely utter random thing anybody's actually said to me, Carl. I'm not going to lie about the fact that you've just got your pants wet. How are we doing? How are we looking for you out of Vegas? You know, 50 to 55 laps of fuel. Do you reckon you can get to the end now, barring any more cautions?
Yeah, everything looks good with fuel at the moment. I'm not sure how much of that got messed up with the caution laps. Maybe we should have added a little bit more extra fuel to make sure we were good. But yeah, we were running good up there at the front, and then yeah, we lost the lead, and then we fell straight through the pack. So I don't really know what I'm doing here. This is very, very Daytona-like. At least it feels like it, where it's very flat out and you know, drafty. But hopefully we can get back up there, maybe do something with our fresh tires. Or maybe not do anything and maybe give you guys a cool crash where I flip up and hit the fence or something.
Well, and I did get a little bit worried on where you did hit the wall. You did hit the wall and then you got a nice little love tap from behind. I will say one thing though, you saved it amazingly.
Yeah, I've had a couple beverages and I don't remember that, so yeah, I'm sure I kept it a little bit out of the wall.
All right, well, when you go back and watch, if you go back and watch, of course, because I know not everybody does, but if you go back and watch, you will see round about the early 40s, I think it is, you go and crack a wall, and then you end up dropping down the order. So, yeah, and then you do a save on the inside. Just to let you know, I appreciate the fact that you've probably had a couple, but I didn't know it affected your memory that quick, Carl.
Hey, we're having fun. We're going fast, turning left, doing all the NASCAR stuff here. So hopefully we guys can keep it exciting for you up there in the broadcast booth.
I'm sure you will, bud. Right, I'm going to let you go, man, because we're not long. We've got one more till you go start going green. Get yourself settled in, buddy. Check your pants to make sure you ain't wet them, and I might catch up with you later on down in Victory Lane.
Thank you. I hope to catch up with you guys later.
Well, there you go. Carl Gretsch there. You know, in relative terms to some people I speak to, and obviously, you know, I talk to loads. That was quite an honest thing. To come out and say, I don't actually know what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting way to start the interview.
Yeah, I've just literally wet my pants with my drink, I think.
Well, all right.
You know what I mean?
So you said you spilled.
Yeah, all right, sorry. Okay, well, let's put a bit of a spin on it. You know, he comes out and he turns around and says, yeah, I just cracked a drink. I think it framed up too much and I think my pants are wet. All right, cool. What are you doing on the race circuit? No idea. You know, I think at the end of the day, I don't believe you can get any more honest than that. You know, when he comes out, I got no idea, mate. You know what I mean? Not a clue. I don't even know why I'm in the car. What's going on?
Sometimes survival is all you need, especially in NASCAR.
Yeah, I know. I just find it very bizarre that somebody of Carl's quality on the race circuit just literally comes out and says, I have no idea. Like, not a Scooby-Doo what's going on at the moment, mate. I don't even know what's happening. It's just very, very bizarre. Right, guys, we're going to see the pace car go off once more. Lap 52. We are up and running 3 cautions deep at the moment there, Warren. So whatever you do, and let's see if we can end up whack anymore. And it's green, green, green here. And it is Roethlisberger, Hazlitt, Perusini, Melton. This is amazing for that 52 Ford, Chris Melton from Longwood in Florida. Currently sitting up 23 places there, Rhea. What a stellar job from him and Maurice Bogan, who are both up 22 and 18 respectively. These guys have gained between themselves 40 places. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's even as you said before, NASCAR, you can make up a lot of places under cautions, but even still, going from essentially, I don't want to say the back of the pack, but essentially the back, like towards the end of the pack, to top 5 is definitely something you'll love to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing a great job. We've got Chris Hannigan in our mirror at the top of the screen now. Be interested as Chris has just gone under Clay Cantrell, what he's going to be able to do. Of course, he did set that lone spin-off for caution number 2 on lap 21 here. So for Chris Hannigan, it's going to be interesting to see how he copes with Chris Melton. He's going to try and run him under the inside of us. He now settles once in, back in behind us. So let's see what Chris can do. Is he going to be running that low line? He is at the moment. It's almost kind of like the block line. He saw Hannigan come in, but then again, he's now left that door open. And Hannigan in that Camry is going to run him straight up the underside. He is. And now Hannigan's making his way back through the field. He's also got the number 8 of Clay Cantrell coming with Sean Bradley here as well. Getting very interested now, Rhea. People moving around, people getting into that middle position. You know, we're halfway through, and I can say that because 56 and 56 makes 112, and we've only got 105 laps. So quick maths for me, correct? Well done, tick. So it now sort of, is this now this second half of the race? Do we think this is now where we sit back and just start ticking off laps, trying to survive, trying to not do anything silly, making sure we're moving through the positions, making sure we're positioning our car in a position where if we are up the front when we get into the last 10, we're going to get ourselves a clear run?
Yeah, honestly, I think at this point in the game, we're gonna. I say game is
ooh. That's Brian Cooper. Yeah, Brian
Good
Cooper.
recovery.
Yeah, and no caution. No caution. I think for Brian Cooper, he just literally had the brick stared out of him, as that's the 29 going straight into the wall, I believe, as well on that top side. You can see here how he's managed to hold on to it, and we get a better view out of his cockpit for Brian Cooper, as you can see right in front of us. The car just, oh mate, absolutely hits the wall there. I believe that might have been Matt Harmon, who just had a big old snap and has just gone and put himself into the wall. There you go, you saw it, snap, wall. Job done for Matt Harmon. Manages to hold it, still not under caution as well. No caution coming out for that. Both of them survived their rear, but that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that could have been another caution. I think it was, I almost want to say I think it was people pushing, not realizing how cold the tires were, but it almost looked like, sorry, I'm fumbling over my words now. It almost looked like there was a little touch of the apron that caused that spin out, the slide.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's come down on the apron and then tried to go back up again. And as he's gone back up again, that's caused the car to unsettle, which lifted up the back wheels, which lifted up the fact that he's then ended up spinning. So as well, Billy Bentley, let's go, Justin, in that 16 MNT car as well. Up, down only 3 places at the moment there, Billy. He's sitting in 12th place is your man. As we can see the inside there of Matt Harmon just running on that apron. Believe that probably will be a pit entry for Matt Harmon, unless he's had another slide, of course, which has caused him to go down. He had gone into the pits. So let's keep an eye and see what he is able to do. But this front pack of Ben Harcum, Hazlitt, Hannigan, Bogan, Perusini and Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger's not getting the run away, is he? He's not jumping and leaving these guys out for dead. He's kind of sitting there and they're still keeping in contact with him, which is great for them.
Yeah, with these faster tracks, you're probably not going to see too many people pulling super far away. Especially up at the front, the Roethlisberger didn't have a great start. So I'm surprised that that gap has been closed. Not surprised that it's been closed, but more surprised that it's been closed pretty quickly.
I think that's one of the things it has. He's up 9 places. Perusini's 9, Hannigan's up 4. You can see the places flashing through the bottom of your screen with Roethlisberger, Perusini, Hannigan, Harcum, Bogan, Hazlitt. slowly down into 6th place, of course, or 7th place, 6th now, as he's jumping around a little bit with that middle pack of Bradley there once more. Still not seeing any second gaps. The only one I'm really seeing is from JC at the end there. John Campbell, of course, in 26th place. Everybody else at the moment, there is a 6-second gap back to Nick Howder, who is currently in 25th. 6 seconds, not a lot at all, and a great job from all of these guys who have managed to keep it clean so far.
Yeah, it's 6 seconds, generally not that bad. Again, a caution could bunch them all up, so we obviously aren't hoping for another caution, but we have seen a decent few tonight, more than we're used to from triple bypass. But again, I wonder if that's just because people aren't used to running their cars on the cold tires, and cautions breed cautions, as they say. So I think it's just people not quite used to how their cars are running in the shorter stints.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, and that's exactly what John Crutchy spoke about as well. You know, my car's set up for longer runs here.
Oh.
Hazlitt, Bradley and Bogan, when you take it free wide, yeah, you're going to be in trouble. Alex Goff in that bright, cheerioed livery, 00 Chevy. Once more tucked up behind Melton. Again, Melton still up 20. Goff's up 21 positions, is Alex Goff. So he's keeping it on the track. He's doing what he needs to be doing here, and he's keeping it clean for Alex Goff. And that really all that matters at this stage of the game. 67, we've got literally barely 38 to go now, as these thundering machines go straight through, giving the camera a good old shake in the process there. That poor cameraman on the side of the circuit just had his literal toupee washed up his hair as we get a yellow flag for caution out. Oh,
a couple of cars collected in the back there.
Yeah, Dustin Barton, I think, had a moment, and unfortunately it looks like there may have been contact with Grant Parker and JC. So there is Grant Parker. Whoa, whoa. How did you, Dustin Barton, end up on that outside line? Oh, you're already squirrely. Whoa, yes you are. Oh, ouch. I'm not surprised Grant Parker's in the pits after that. I've got to be honest. That was an absolute thundering move. You see it on board. That is literally real life ambulance ER red flag there. He's probably just punched him round about 180 plus miles an hour coming off them fast corners. And that for Grant Parker is straight back into the pits. We've got this pit lane running once more. There are a lot of cars who are in the pits. There is no fewer than Ben Harcum, Hazlitt, Bradley, Bentley, Roethlisberger, Jester, Crutchley, Jackson, Creedler, Benson, Howder, Cantrell, Slaughter, Cooper, Melton and Hinton, all in the pits. And of course we've seen Parker already be in there as well. That was a big one, Rhea. Big one.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Grant Parker, he had to get a tow back to pits. You can see he was turning his steering wheel, and the car was just not responding. And unfortunately, with iRacing, doesn't matter where you are in the track. Generally, you're looking at least a minute and a half towing time. So it's going to lose a lot of time. Thankfully, we're under caution, but you still don't want to lose that just waiting for your car to be moved.
Yeah, I know. It's a good job we're not at Nords here. It would be like a 9-minute. I'm trying to find the beginning of how Barton ended up off the side of the circuit. Here we go. This might give us a better idea how the number 13 ended up where he did. And I'm wondering whether or not this was just all on his own here for Dustin Barton. I don't think anybody, there's a few bumps that he's had to contend with as well. So for Dustin Barton, we'll keep an eye. Oh, he gets loose into the wall. And here he comes. That would have been a break and a slow down, young man. Not that. And then that. Surely that would have been a lift and break, right? At that moment, he started going down on the apron. Get it settled and straightened up again.
Definitely. I unfortunately I didn't really see any white smoke coming up, so no press of the brakes that locked it up or anything like that. I can't really tell if he was on the brakes 'cause we weren't in the cockpit, obviously, but yeah, it definitely could have been controlled a little earlier into the crash. But once you start sliding around like that, you kind of think you might have it still, especially when you get under the apron and there's nobody around you. You kind of think to yourself, I've got a little bit of room to make mistakes, so I have a little bit of room to catch the car. But just at that point, just kind of take the loss, hit the brakes, and lose a couple of positions as opposed to ending up in the pits and losing the couple of laps.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things as well that has basically just cost that, the fact that he's obviously ended up in the wall, the fact that obviously Jared Jackson's race now is jeopardized and can be completely, if need be, done here. John Campbell, he was running a lap down, was JC, but he's obviously been involved in his race now is under even more jeopardization than it was when he was already down. I just think from Barton's point of view, I think he could have done more to avoid that. I think that was just one of them things where you're on that apron, it's sliding, get it brake, get it slowed down, getting it level, get back out there, because you've already just whacked an absolute bucket ton of heat through them tyres with that back end coming sideways anyway. You might as well take the L on that one and just let it settle itself down, Rear. I think that was just probably a rush of blood, trying to make sure he didn't lose as many positions. And let's face it, we've all done it. We've all sat off the side of the circuit, not checked our relative, pulled out. Next thing you know, boom, we're up in the air. So
yeah,
easily done, isn't it?
Yeah, it's also worth noting that on broadcast, it looks a little like, you get plenty of time to do that. But when you're in the car, everything seems a lot quicker. That whole probably about 3-second crash there probably seemed like about a second and a half in the car. So it's just a lot of really quick decisions you have to make in succession. So it's not, not something you can totally be like, oh, I don't understand why you didn't do that. But yeah, it's hard.
It is. We're going to be up and running once more now as well. 71 on the clock, 34 to go, and it is Hannigan gets the jump straight at the beginning, does an absolute stellar job to get it away, but we've got Perusini, Bogan fighting out, grappling between themselves as well. Once more with Alex Goff, Sean Bradley losing positions. Whoa, Ben Harcum has literally... Nope, he's back. There we go. Ben Harcum there just plummeted through the field for a minute, and I think he might have had a little bit of a connection issue. The man who doesn't even know what's happening in the car at the moment, Carl Gretsch, sitting in 4th place. For a man who has no idea, doing rather well there, Rhea.
Yeah, he's doing quite well. I kind of just picture him in the car right now, just enjoying his beverages and going around like, how do I get here? I'll take it. I'll roll with it.
Yeah. To be honest, I'd roll with it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. Robert Carl Gretsch did make me chuckle. I've got to be honest. He did absolutely make me chuckle. Brandon Hinton here under pressure from Brian Cooper in that corn-fed Paddy Racing 96 car there as well. Did a great job once more, of course. Unfortunately for Brian, we have seen him take a little bit of a divert off the side of the circuit right at a restart as well. That 28 is Matt Harmon. He's obviously was one of the back markers here. So for Matt Harmon, he's now really just kind of making sure he can try and stay with some people. Ben Harcum, Chris Melton, and also Justin Hazlitt now. Hazlitt, for me, I think he come in here this evening and put it on pole position and did a fast lap time. There was only a few people in that 29s, and he was one of them as well. I would have thought he would have been running a little bit more further up the field than what he is at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's just had a bit of an unlucky race. We have seen that he had a couple of minor incidents where he ended up losing quite a few positions, because you lose even around like 50 miles an hour, and it takes quite a bit to make up that deficit. You're already dropped through the field, so I think he's just had a bit of an unlucky race.
Yeah, he has, and unfortunately for him, that luck now as we're going to be coming into that last 25. There's the 42 on the outside of Barton. Barton's another one who's had a bit of a rough evening here once more. Melton is just about to get swallowed up faster than me eating a bowl of Weetabix. I'm not going to lie here. By Hazlitt and Harkham and Benson, I should say, who's also trying to make his way through in that number 42 Chevy. You see him on the outside in that traditional blue and white livery. They're doing it now. Absolutely stellar job from him. But Chris Melton and Ben Harkham, they've still managed to hold on to their positions for now. They got the 84 of Ward Fisher, who was involved in that caution back on lap 48 with Jackson there. So Fisher's doing a great job getting a great recovery going. But it's all about this front pack now, Rhea. We're starting to see that little bit of a second gap almost start appearing between these cars. It's going to be coming down to the last 25 in two. It's going to be difficult now.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the different strategies a lot of the front runners are on, actually. A couple of people pitted around lap 68, and then we have a whole other group that's pitted on 49 back when we had the big caution. So I think people are just, as I said before, differentiating their pit strategy and hoping that maybe they can dive in, put on some fresher boots, and get out and make up that time. But I don't really know that that's the play here. It's such a quick track. You're going to lose a lot of time doing that. So I think they're probably just going to end up staying out on those older tires unless there's another caution.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. The thing is, let's discuss. We've got Bradley and Roethlisberger and Melton all pitted on lap 68. Now for Melton, he's got to be looking to try and force a gap. He's on fresher tyres for Chris Melton. You know, Melton's now got to be looking at trying to get past all of these cars that are on 49s at the moment, right? Because at the end of the day, he's doing 50.1s. They're doing 50.5 and 6s. No!
That is the exact opposite of what he wanted to happen.
And I was just picking him up as well.
I'm reminded of you and Zach Sweeney constantly talking about how it is not a commentator's curse.
No, if you listen to Zach, it's a commentator's coincidence. Him and Perusini. Not sure which way round that went, but let's try and find something where we can see over the top. Oh, Perusini starts to wiggle. That contact puts Melton out. And then it all just goes a little bit Pete Tong for these two gentlemen. You can see, watch Perusini in that 24. Comes down, contact there. Then Melton just goes up, puts Perusini in the wall. The 78 there of Ben Harkham manages to scoot underneath. And look at Melton's car. The wheel's gone. Carl Gretsch ended up involved with 1 and 2. Oh, both of them there as well, unfortunately for Carl Gretsch. Shame, because I really thought it was going to be a Melton, Roethlisberger, Bradley run going into this final part. With 23 to go here. And Melton and Perusini have just had some contact. Don't forget, guys, as well, let me know what you think in regards to commentators' curse. You can talk about it in the comment section. Drop a comment down below, and we will pick up your message. You'll be interested to see what everybody's thoughts are on the commentators' curse or the commentators' coincidence, depending on who you talk to. Don't forget, guys, tonight is sponsored by Matt Perusini here this evening as well. Matt, unfortunately, was involved in that incident and is now sitting down in pit lane. And if you want to get yourselves involved in some great racing, 4 nights of racing, Sundays Gen 4, Tuesdays late models, Wednesdays road racing, and Thursdays are the next gens, head over to triplebypass.com and come and get yourselves involved in some amazing racing. If you want to head to Las Vegas, of course. Don't forget they got the NHRA Nevada Nationals kicking off on October 26th to Sunday the October 29th. So the Thursday to the Sunday, so you can get yourself involved if you fancy doing that one. Head to ivms.com and you will be able to see all the packages and ticket prices available for you as well. So definitely go and check that one out, because trust me, once you've seen drag racing, once you've heard drag racing, it's a different experience. I will say one thing: take ear defenders. If you don't take ear defenders, well, you better get yourself down the docks on the Monday for an hearing aid, because you're going to need it after that as well, with some great cars up at Las Vegas on the 26th to the 29th. Shaw, Bradley, Rufflesberger, Harcum, Hazlitt, Bentley and Jester, with Jackson, Slaughter and Creedler, with Hannigan. Your top 10. 22 to go here, Rhea. This is it now. We've taken out the pawns. I'm sat there with my queen. Your king's bear open. Surely they've just got to start going in for the kill now.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting, because I was actually getting ready to say before the caution, we're going to see a battle of different tactics, the people who gambled on getting another caution to change out their tires, and the people who've already used all the sets they have. But now that we've had that caution, everybody who has been saving that set, hoping for that caution, has been able to go out and change their tires. We have a lot of the field running on those new tires now, so it'll be interesting to see if anybody who went into the pits now, and make up that time, make up the gap. The first person we have is Chris Hannigan, who's down in 10th. He's the first person on new tires. So it'll be interesting to see if he starts pushing his way through the field.
Yes, well, let's see what Mr. Hannigan does. Is he going to bring Bogan? Is he going to bring Crutchley? Is he going to bring Goff, Gretsch, Corey, Cantrell, Benson, all with him? They are the start of the people who pitted on lap 82, and it starts here with John Creedler all the way down to Roethlisberger for the people who haven't. So that's 9th to 1st who have not pitted. Here comes Chris Hannigan to take his position on the grid, so a great job from him. The pace car lights are out. Zach Roethlisberger is going to be the man leading the way here, so a great job here. So let's see what this Roethlisberger and Bradley battle is going to bring up the front. Both of these guys pitted on lap 68. You all have done a great job. Thanks for broadcasting the race. No worries, Billy Bentley. Thanks so much for your kind words. It always means a lot up here to myself and Rhea up in the booth, and everyone at JPB who works hard in the background bringing you all this action. But let's get this up and running. We've got 21 to go. Are we going to finish this off? Are we going to break into the GWCs that have been, well, they're probably on the shelf gathering dust by now. They're that rare here in the triple bypass. So let's see. As we're going to go on to starters orders, pace car's going to be in. Barney's waving and he's waiting and he's ready. He's there to drop it. He's going to drop it like it's hot very shortly. And it is going to be Bradley leading us off here with Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger got a little bit strung up on the line there as well. Did not make a great start with Bradley there coming through. Harcum, Hazlitt, Bentley, Jackson, Jester. Now Hannigan is already down 2 places. He's been jumped by Jeff Slaughter right at the start here as well, and Alex Goff is now making a move through. So for Chris Hannigan, he's got to start trying to get it up, because at the moment the first man on fresh tyres is Maurice Bogan. We know it takes a couple of laps here, Rhea. We know they don't want to be sliding too early on in this car. They want to get this done. They want to make their way through the field. It's going to be tough for everybody here.
Yeah, generally you want to let those tires come back into operating temperature, but with that much of a difference on the wear of the tires, you kind of want to try to.
Jeff Slaughter in the 46. Just as we were discussing about letting your tires come back in, him and Carl Gretsch. Oh, Gretsch just goes up. Straight through. These guys, do they manage to survive? Well, unfortunately for Slaughter, he does not. And goes off to the side of the circuit. Does he hit the wall? That's going to be the question.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Slaughter nose deep into the wall here. And Perusini also has been up to no good with himself once more. What has Matt Perusini been doing? Oh, he just goes... Where does he go? Just goes straight into the pits. Or just stops on track. So it looks like we may have lost Matt Perusini as well. But for Slaughter, it's a bit of a tough one. But again, probably Gretsch may have... Well, I'd say may. He had a clear... He had a clear hand in that one. Let's see if Sean Bradley is available for a chat. He is. Let's see. I'll pull him into there just to make him sure he's aware that he is coming in. I don't want to scare the life out of the young man. Sean, welcome into the booth, dear sir. Can you hear me okay?
I gotcha.
Okay, bud. Flying donuts, front of the field, 17 laps to go. You're up 5 positions from where you started. You're pitted back on lap 68. You're on older tyres than some of the guys behind. Can you hang on for the win, or are you going to drop off too quick, do you think?
I would sure like to. I think Zach has a little bit more speed than I do, though. I don't know if he took 4. I think he did because he started behind me quite a bit. But if I'll try to hold him back, but I got no promises.
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit worried about the people sitting Morris Bogan down in 8th at the moment, pitted on that last caution on lap 68. Lap 82. Do we think these guys who pitted on 82 are going to be looking at hurtling their way through the field? Are you going to see them within a couple of laps, do you think?
I think I'm going to see them right at the end. It took me about 10 laps to warm up and get up to the front from where I started. So right at the end, they might be challenging myself or Zach or, Ben. We'll see what happens, though.
Oh, is that you confident saying they're not going to get near you till then?
Confidence, or I'm actually coming down with COVID right now, so I might be a little delirious.
Oh, well, let's see what happens here. Sean, good luck, buddy. You've had a great race so far. Let's see you get to the end of it. You never know, we might have a chat later with you down in Victory Lane, buddy. Have a good one.
Hope so. Thanks.
Well, there you go, Sean Bradley there at the front in that 77 car from the Flying Donuts team. Very nice name. Very nice.
Yeah. I figured out why we have so many cautions tonight. So many for triple bypass anyway.
Go on.
Some of the field has been having some beverages. Some of them are delirious and coming down with COVID. They're just not on top of their game. Clearly, it's just a lot of clouded
yes, I was just going to say clouded judgments here. Or have they been on a night out in Vegas and thought it was a good idea to come ride it around an oval? Have they been for...
Everybody's angry they lost too much money.
Yeah, and they clearly did not fulfill their indulgences. So there we go. And the buffet had no shrimp. Nothing worse than no shrimp at the buffet. So we're going to have one more lap but 2 before we get up and running underway. The pace car lights will go off this time around as well. Welcome into JPB Broadcasting. If you've never been here before, this is what you get. Hit the like, subscribe, turn on the bells, because there's loads of racing coming up this week. We've got the JPB TCLs tomorrow. We've got the VWSC from Road Atlanta in their sports car series as well. Sim Racing for Simpletons kicks off again in the new Super Formula car. That's going to be an interesting one. So keep an eye out for all your noties and see when we are going to go live here again, because it's going to be a very action-packed weekend of racing. 6th caution, 15 to go. The pace car lights are out. Come on, Rhea, they've got to get to the end from here, right?
Got to is hopeful. They don't necessarily have to, but man, do I want to see it.
Ooh.
I would love to see the people on fresher tires pushing for position right at the end. I think it would be a very exciting race.
Yeah, we have. And that first one is going to be Morris Bogan. He will be the first one if anybody's going to start making moves. He is on that outside line alongside Alex Goff. These two guys pitted on lap 82. So let's see what happens. Sean Bradley's backing everybody up at the moment. He's keeping that distance to the pace car. Barney's arm's going to come out. He's going to be waving that green flag. The pace car's going to go in, do that weird funky 90-degree left thing that it does so well here within iRacing. The green flag's going to drop once more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We are on the home stretch, and it is Bradley with Roethlisberger. 14 to go. Harkham, Bentley, Jackson, Hazlitt, Jester, and Bogan. Bogan in the 8th place. Alex Goff on the inside on the 00 and the 36 battling away side by side. These men pitted on lap 82. Let's see what happens with lap times as we get the first few laps up and running here. 14 to go now, Rio. The Spin City 160 is coming to an end. Are you going to see the Bogan, the Goff come through the field, or are we going to see Bradley wrap this up?
I think it's very possible that we can see people like Bogan come through the field. It is going to take a couple of laps for their tires to come into operating temperature, but I think once they are, and even getting up to there, they just have so much more tire left. I think it's very possible.
Yeah, Roethlisberger's just made the move past Bradley. Bradley's just made the move back through again once more. This is where these runners down to Jared Jackson in 6th. You can see them all there on your screen. The people that pitted early, the people that pitted on lap 68, they have not pitted since. Bogan and Goff, they're not making the gains I thought they would have been. I thought it just would have been passing standing still cars. Bradley, Roethlisberger, Harkham, Bentley. Now we're sitting in a 2 wide, 2 deep situation. Bentley's on the inside. For me, I'd want to be on the inside all day, Rhea. I would not want to be on that outside high line.
It depends. You would want to for speed, but they have different setups, so it's very possible with the older tires, some of the people at the front could be struggling with that inside line, just trying to keep the car steady and keep it from trying to kick that tail end out. So it's the fastest line, but it might not be their particular ideal line.
Well, Bradley's managing to hold on, 11 to go. Goff's not really making inroads, neither is Bogan at the moment. Maybe my whole predicted projection round this tyre life situation has gone out of the window. It's almost like me trying to predict the weather in the UK tomorrow. If anybody can tell me how, please let me know, because I wake up and I have sunshine. By the time I get downstairs in my kitchen to make me coffee, I've got rain. So, you know, welcome to the UK. If you've not been here before, please bring umbrella, wellies and waders are compulsory, because now it's going to be wader time. We're into the 10. We are got down to that final 10. Bogan now is not moved. Hannigan's the one on the move. He's the one. The three that are pitted are going 3 wide. Here comes Goff. Goff has got to run. They're going to swallow up the 51 of Jared Jackson. Both sides here as well. He's not really quite sure where to go. Carl Gretsch is making his move around the outside once more. This is it. The Nationals up and running, and we're going over the beach. It is going to be that running down to the line. Is Hannigan going to be the first one from the boys that pitted late? Is it going to be Goff as well here? 8 to go. Who's your money on?
It's really hard to take a pick at this point in the race. There's so many people that have been pushing real hard, and there's people on the newer tires who are making a real good go at it right now. But it is interesting to see Justin Hazlitt all the way back up in 5th after being so far down in the pack after having, you know, that unlucky earlier start to the race. He's back in the top 5.
But he's pitted early. That's the thing.
Yes.
Look at Goff and Hannigan. It's like a double team. It's like watching the old bushwhackers in the WWE. Hannigan's on the inside. Goff's on the outside line. Goff's exit off 2. He is coming off there faster than a firework that's fallen over. Watch his exit out of 2, this young man. He literally comes off it like a slingshot. He's being pulled back just about now, and now, boom! They've set him free, and there goes Goff. You can see the gap, and he's opening up as well. You can see Gretsch and Hannigan just sandwiched. Yes, the no!
Oh.
No! No!
I think that was probably it for Goff. He was on quite a tear, and that was right about where his tires were in that perfect operating temperature.
Oh, for Goff, he is going to be kicking himself. Absolutely kicking himself. You can see, we're just missing the slight little bit of contact from Hannigan. Here he is now. That's Jester in the inside. Hannigan's coming up. Jester's there, buddy. Jester's there. Straight into Carl Gretsch. In the wall he goes. Now, how does everybody else get on behind? Big puffs of smoke. We're trying to stop it. There's a wreck. Oh, Hannigan looks like he's done for the day on that one, Rhea. I'm not going to lie. We had 5 to go. We were on lap 100. We're now on caution number 7. Are you now choosing tyres or are you not choosing tyres? What would you be doing at this situation this late in the game? You've only got 5 laps to play nice. And that doesn't always happen.
You mean going in for new tires?
Yeah.
I believe they only have 3 sets, do they not?
Yeah, but it's whether or not they've taken a set every time they pitted.
That's true. I think at this point everybody likely has.
Well, the front 2 are Bradley, Roethlisberger, Harkham, and I can't really say Bentley. He's been in the pits 5 times. Hazlitt have only been in the pits twice.
Yes, but the first set, when you go out on the track, that is your first set, so you do only have 2 backups.
No.
It's if they took tires both times they went in, they wouldn't have any spares.
No, as far as I'm aware, the qualifying set counts as their start set, and then they've got 3 sets after.
Oh, is it 3 sets of spares? Interesting.
As far as I'm aware.
Oh yeah, yep, 3 tire changes. You're right.
Yeah, 3 tire sets. So yeah. So now, if Goff can do what he's been doing, staying with these front people, these front drivers. Good evening, Sammy Lee. Welcome in. He has got the opportunity. Starting set +3 in the pits. Yeah, that's what I thought. Dustin, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that was on me.
Goff's got the opportunity to take this victory, and I can see. I really want to have a word, but there's only 3 laps to go. I really don't want to scare the young man at this moment in time. At Double O car, who his exit off 2. Oh, man, unprecedented. He literally opened that car up, didn't he? Set them wheels on fire, and he was gone.
Yeah, the second they were ready to go, he just put everything they could take. He pushed that car.
Yeah,
it's if he can manage that again, I wouldn't be surprised to see him up in the front.
No, I don't think. To be honest, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't take this. If he does not take this, Alex Goff, I would be shocked. That man has got an absolute rocket of a machine underneath him. Thanks for the welcome. No worries, Sammy. We'd love to have a good chat with the community that have jumped in with us here as well. Don't forget, you're part of this race as much as me and Ria and the drivers are, because without you guys watching, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing, and without the drivers racing, we still wouldn't be doing what we're doing. So, it's more important to have that interaction with your community at the same time, because at the end of the day, without you guys, there is no us. So now, let's get this done. 3 laps, no more GWCs. Goff's got an opportunity to go now in that Lucky Charms liveried car. Looks awesome. Not gonna lie, Alex. Props. So I'm okay. I'm gonna put my neck out. I'm gonna say Alex Goff for the win.
It's really hard to make the call right now because they're gonna have that green-white checkered. So it's possible if he can, on cold tires, manage to squeeze as much of the tire out of it as they'll let him. He definitely has a shot, but it's also going to depend on how much the 5 whole drivers in front of him want to block him off and make sure he doesn't gain those positions on them.
Alex, don't let me down, buddy. Don't let me down. Do not let me down. Here we go. The man in the Cheerios. The Lucky Charms, the series livery from my youth machine. Can he do this now? Or can the likes of Roethlisberger and Bradley, who has led for pretty much most of this race, these two between them, can they get this as well? Well, time is only gonna tell. Barney is waving. He has got his arms out. He is gonna be there. One-handed machine, and he's already gone. Now it's all on Goff. Now it's just go, go, go for Alex Goff. He don't look like he made the start though, Rhea. This is my problem. I've got a funny feeling he didn't really do what he needed to do off that beginning. We've only got 2 to go. He's had the block thrown at him by Hazlitt. He's got to put it underneath him. This man who was on the most fresher tyres out of everybody. He's got to put it under Hazlitt. He needs to get onto the back of the likes of Harkham in front. But at the moment, as we're going to come over the line, it's going to be the white flag. It's going to be Roethlisberger. It's going to be Bradley. I've got a funny feeling I have literally lucked out here. And Alex Goff is not going to take this victory. Can Bradley or Roethlisberger get it as we're going to be coming down now near enough on the final lap? Roethlisberger's trying to throw the Brock on Bradley. Bradley's going to try and run him around the outside at the moment here as well. Can Ben Harkham get himself involved? Here we go now, down to the end of the race. Down to the end of the race. And Roethlisberger's going to take it. Roethlisberger's going to wrap it up. Alex Goff finished down in 9th place. He went backwards instead of forwards. And it's all on this man. Great running from Roethlisberger there. Did an absolute stellar job of taking that victory. He didn't really go forward, Goff, did he?
No, I think it was just another case of you're very used to how the tires handle when they're warmed up, and going from that to cold tires, it's just a bit of an adjustment to make within a very short amount of time.
Such a shame. I thought he had that one nailed. I really did think he did. There's Roethlisberger's donuts. Good job for Zach Roethlisberger, right on that Las Vegas start line. He's now off to the strip, and he's going to see how much money he walks out with in the morning for Zach Roethlisberger. But you can see the results on the bottom of your screen. We are going to bring them up for you here as we stay on Roethlisberger doing that wonderful victory celebration. He has taken the victory. Sean Bradley in second with Ben Harkham in third. Justin Bentley fourth. Justin Hazlitt in 5th with Jared Jackson 6th, Morris Bogan 7th, Chris Melton 8th, Alex Goff in 9th in the end, Clay Cantrell 10th, Will Jester 11th, Nick Howder 12th, Ward Fisher 13th, Matt Harmon 14th, Brandon Hinton, Chris Hannigan, John Creedler and Al Corey round out your top 18. Then on from that you got Brian Cooper, Jason Benson, John Crutchley, Carl Gretsch, Grant Parker, Jeff Slaughter. Then we're into the non-finishers of Perusini, Barton, Campbell, Herzog, Thomas Hazlitt and Ryan Murray. I'm just going to pop some people into the booth that I want to have a wonderful little chat with as well. I would like you. I would also... Where is Roethlisberger? Or am I just going blind there? Sean Bradley, he finished second. We'll have a chat with him. Can't really find Roethlisberger at the moment, but I tell you what we will do, guys. We'll start this opening up with Alex Goff into the booth with us. Alex, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Now, you're probably wondering why I have pulled you into the booth, okay? I would like to have a chat, and I'd like to have a chat about the fact that did you think, being that you were on fresher tyres, did you think you could have taken that victory?
Well, I feel like I could have, but that last green white checkered, I could not get the tires to hook up right, because it seemed like you needed about 5 to 10 laps on your tires before you could really start going, and my tires were just not warming up. so I just could not get going.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shame because before that run as well, you were motoring. It was like you had a slingshot on the back of that car coming out of turn 2. You were wrapping up some gaps and wrapping up some places, and I really thought that you would have taken it if it had just stayed green as well. What were your thoughts on the whole race for you overall, though? Because to be honest, not a bad evening of racing. Bit of a shame towards the end. I have just seen you hit the wall. That could explain the place drop because I was a bit shocked there as well. But you did gain 20 positions. You are the highest gainer in the whole race.
Yeah, it was a good race. It was really fun. I did not, I scrubbed the wall in qualifying, so I did not get to put down a lap. So started in the back, saving my tires. And I think that first run, I saved a little bit too much. So I kind of learned and worked my way through the field from there, burning up a little bit more rubber.
Yeah, you definitely did, sir. Well, look, Alex, I thought you were on it. You were my pick going into that green-white checker as well. I thought the fresher tyres, the way you were coming off too, the way you were just absolutely motoring, I did really think you were going to hook that one up and take that victory. But it wasn't to be today, but there is always next time. Alex, well done on your racing today. You gained 20 positions. Great job from you. Is there anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mum, I'm on TV.
I'm famous, Mom.
Pull me in, Mum. He's had a talk. Look at me. I'm signing autographs.
I've made it.
Oh, you definitely have, sir. Look, I had to talk to you because I really did think you were going to wrap it up. But it's been a pleasure to speak to you for the first time as well, Alex. Nice to meet you, young sir. I look forward to having a chat with you again as the season goes on.
Likewise. Hopefully next time I'll be in victory lane.
Oh, man. Hook it up like you did here, buddy. I've got no doubts.
Thank you.
Take care. Right, and next up in the booth, we did have a chat with him earlier on. He did say it was going to be tough. It was tough for this gentleman, but he went out, he gained 4 places, he finished in 2nd place. Bar rugby tackling Zach Roethlisberger on that last GWC. There wasn't a lot this man could do, but he did everything he needed to do here and finished in 2nd. Let's have a chat with Sean Bradley once more. Sean, welcome in, buddy. Almost did it.
Almost. I told you exactly what was going to happen, that Zach had more pace than me and I couldn't hold him off forever. I'm surprised it took that long until the green-white checkered for him to get ahead of me. I think he was going to get the position before that last caution came out, but no, he was just lights out fast. I couldn't hold him back.
Yeah, it was such a shame. I really did think that you were well going to be within that limit. So I seriously thought you might have been managing to do it as well. I'm going to ask a question that's probably going to be a little bit controversial, and that's partly because obviously it happens quite often. Did you almost, when you're that close to the win, and we've seen this in official many, many times, somebody will put you into the wall or take you out or try and defend like absolute crazy. Did that kind of come into your head at any point? Did you sit back and think, right, I'm going to put it here, I'm going to put it there, and if he ends up in the wall, he ends up in the wall?
I was planning on pushing him down the backstretch and to try to get him too hot into turn 3, but I never got to his bumper. He was just so damn quick. So I did have a plan to kind of push him out of the way for the win, but it didn't come to fruition.
Well, almost, young man, almost. Well, look, at least you didn't put him in the wall, I suppose. That's always the good thing as we've come to the end there, Sean. Look, great run, great 2nd place, great racing. Thoroughly enjoyed it here this evening. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go, young sir?
No shout-outs for me. Just another 2nd place finish is kind of tearing me apart. I'm hoping to get a win next time I see you.
Well, I do too, young man. And then we can say, look who's down in victory lane. But well done, buddy. Go and have a drink, settle back. Next time, I'm sure.
All right, cheers.
Take care. Right, and I tell you what, I'm going to have a chat once more with this young good sir, the man we had a chat with earlier on, and we're bringing him in, Mr. Al Corey. Al, good evening to you, sir. How are you?
I'm well, thanks, gents. How are you?
I'm very well, sir. Very well. How was it for you? It looked a bit of a rough one out there at times.
it was a struggle. I couldn't find any speed in practice and or qualifying. I had a little bit going there in the first long run. I was able to save a little bit of tire, and I was making some spots up. I think I restarted in 6th or 7th at one point, but then got passed by newer tires, and then got caught up in a wreck, and then started near the back on the green white checkered. So yeah, it was a struggle.
The pit stop on 101. Did you have an option of staying out, Al, or do you think that's where it kind of, killed it almost for you?
101. So that was right. That was right before the green white checker.
Yeah.
No, I took some damage in that wreck that brought out that yellow, and I had a meatball, so I had to go in for my fast repair.
That's a bit of a shame there, Al, as well. What sort of car did you have, Al? Were you a long runner? Were you a short runner? What was the situation for you in the car with the way it was handling and that?
Yeah, I needed long runs and no cautions, but that racing was wild. You were off throttle such a small amount of time that we were just packed up together so tight. It was 2 wide and 3 wide for a lot of that race.
Yeah, it definitely was. And let's be real, we've come into this evening and we're seeing 29 cars go hurtling around. We lost Thomas Hazlitt really early on. He's still in pit lane, mind you, and has been in there for the whole entire race. So, for 29 cars to go hurtling around, as you say, off throttle for a very short period of time, was it tough to manage everything, or was you constantly flicking your head backwards and forwards looking to see what was going on around you?
Yeah, it was just so tight. It was almost like super speedway racing, honestly, for a lot of that race. So you were running nose to tail, and somebody was on your outside or inside. It was really tight and pretty frantic racing. So I was going to mention that we think that 30 was an all-time high for the league. Now that you're telling me that we only had 29 starters, I'll have to check the stats and see if 29 still breaks the record. But it was great to see a big field, and we sure thank everybody for coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. It was. The only reason I say that is you had 30 in the session, but Ryan Murray didn't take on the start line. So you had officially 29 cars started. Thomas Hazlitt retired after pit lap 11. So at the moment it's 29 now. I'm sorry to
that's okay. We'll try to break the record next week. I want to thank you guys and also Matt Perusini for sponsoring the race tonight. It was terrific to have him get us a broadcast again with you folks, and we look forward to more down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Al, I would say, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? But you've already thanked the drivers, you thanked Matt, and you thanked us. Is there anybody else that you missed in the process?
No, I think I'll make my exit. Thanks very much, guys.
No worries, buddy. You take care. Well, to be fair, Al was in good spirits there, Rio. As he said, it's their all-time high for their race series in drivers, which is absolutely amazing. I'm so glad we were here to basically see that for them, because I think that is absolutely incredible. It's been a very interesting race. And honestly, though, I'm going to put this out there now, considering that they had 30 cars on the track. The fact that they did only have 7 cautions, it isn't that bad, really, is it, when you think about it?
No, it really isn't all that bad. I mean, it's a couple, but you have to remember it's also a nighttime race where the tires take a little longer to come into temperature, and it's a lot easier to overestimate how much, or overdrive, and just kind of not realize that your tires aren't hooking up until you're already sideways.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You have to be, a little bit smart about it, and these guys have definitely done that as well. I think it's been a great evening of racing here, and one that's been a pleasure to broadcast on as well. But I think, guys, that's just about to wrap it up here. Thank you so much to everybody who's joined us. If you have watched it back, don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on the bells. Also, don't forget, drop comments down in the comment section below as well. If you are watching it back, let us know what you feel about the commentator's curse. Is it a curse? Is it a coincidence? And we'll read them as well. But for now, guys, from myself, James Parfitt, up here in the booth with Ria Subra. It's been a wonderful evening. But for now, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.